thank you so much for speaking to us at WION. So Rana, starting with you first, if you can share one of the best memories that you have had, especially in your childhood, growing and reading up these books.
So, like I said, like my mom, like exactly the way you said, my mom was the first one who gave me Amar Chitra Kathas. And back then, it was so disciplined that she had it bound. So I have a whole set that's like bound like school books.
Yes.
And I think that's my first introduction to it.
Yeah, I think all of us have the same
like
story.
we all grew up. Exact same story.
I don't think we remember much of what we learned through the history textbooks.
Exactly.
But we all remember, even specific panels and specific pages from different Amar Chitra Kathas that we read.
Wow.
It's just an indelible memory. The kind of impact these comics have had, on all of us.
You have also been part of one of the most powerful movies, blockbuster movies called Bahubali, where they showed the power of Indian mythology. Yes. So have you carried out those experiences, through these journey as well?
I think for sure, right? Bahubali was the film that taught us how to make cinema at scale.
Yes.
And it taught us that all of that was inspired from Indian mythology, folklore and stuff like that. And where was more stories like that was Amar Chitra Katha.
This year it entered Comic-Con 2023 as well. So what was the, goal and the aim to do this?
Comic-Con is like, especially Comic-Con San Diego, which is the original one, is like the mothership. Right? It's a mothership for comic book, for content creators. So I think it was time for us to take that confident step and to take Indian culture and Indian storytelling on that global stage.
Rana, this question will be for you. I mean, Prabhas and you, both of you made history with, by entering this year in Comic-Con 2023 with your respective projects. We know off screen you both share a very good bond. Although, in the movie you both were
beating the hell out of each other.
Yes, but how does it feel, to have a companion on one side, but to have a competition also on the other side?
It's like, competing is actually not true at all, because there's very rarely both people do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's camaraderie that helps us grow.
Yes.
And like when you said this year's Comic-Con, it really felt like India's moment at Comic-Con for all of us who were there. The fact that we had a big film, we had Amar Chitra Katha, a big comic book company, and just swamped with so many people that were non-Indian, trying to understand this culture through the comics, through the cinema. I think that's been a pretty phenomenal experience, and this would really go down as one of the highlights that in my life for sure. The fact that we were able to sit there for the first time.
Definitely, definitely. So between Tollywood, Mollywood and Bollywood, which industry do you really think has
other
a
two
strong...
hoods I don't know, because they're in that town, we don't call them that.
No, but all the industries, right? So which do you think has the strongest soft power?
A story has a stronghold, doesn't matter where it comes out, right?
So my last question to both of you will be, in today's era where children are so glued, like we were discussing earlier, with their smartphones, with their digital apps and so many other things, how do you really take this legacy ahead to keep it alive comic book wise?
India has a 5,000-year tradition of storytelling. So I don't think that's under any kind of... It's not going away anywhere. There's no threat. There's no threat to stories and the interest in stories dying out. It's only a question of, its format changing, the way it is presented to the reader changing. So this is an urban myth that children are not reading, right? If you want children to read yourself, and you'll have reading habit at home.
Okay, thank you.
And pick up our new books.
Yeah, thank you so much for speaking to us here at WION. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.